father, his expression blackened. "I'll get me own back, Dad, if it's the last thing I do. Even if the O'Haras lay off our turf, this feud ain't over. It'll never be over between me and Jimmy. Not now. Not ever." Chapter 1. 1971. Joyce Smith smiled as she carefully lifted her best dinner service out of the box. She rarely used her expensive china, but today was a very special occasion, and she was desperate to impress. As Joyce entered the living room, her smile immediately turned to a frown. That lazy husband of hers was still glued to that filthy, stinking armchair of his. "Stanley, get your ass up them stairs and get yourself ready. You haven't even washed or shaved yet, and they'll be here soon." More interested in the 3:45 at Kempton, Stanley leapt up and down. "Go on, my son, get in there! Go on, my son, you can do it!" As his horse got pipped at the post, Stanley threw the sporting life up in the air in temper. "Stupid bastard nag!" he shouted. Annoyed that her husband was ignoring her orders, Joyce picked up her broom and clumped him on the head with it. Why, he betted, she'd never know. He always bloody lost. "I won't tell you again, Stanley. Now get up them bleeding stairs and smarten yourself up." Stanley knew better than to argue with his wife. She wore the trousers, and he just complied with her orders. "Your nice blue shirt and best slacks are hanging on the wardrobe door. Put them on," Joyce ordered. "Anyone would think the Queen Mother was coming for tea," Stan replied, as he ran up the stairs. Picking up the duster and polish, Joyce did her best to tidy his dirty little corner. She had a quick vac round, then, to finish, sprayed a whole can of air freshener around the house. That's better, she thought, as she studied her domain. Joyce was very proud of her 3-bedroom council house. It was situated in a road off Upney Lane, but she always told people that she lived in the upper-class part of Barking. Obviously, she would have liked to have bought a private property in a better area, but on Stan's bus driver's wages, that was never going to happen. A proper little homemaker, Joyce was always buying new ornaments and furniture to tar up her surroundings. Her neighbours all said that she had the poshest house in the street, and Joyce loved the compliment. Being known as the posh woman suited her down to the ground. Stanley mumbled and cursed to himself as he shaved and got changed. Not only was he annoyed with the jockey and nag that had just lost him money, he was also annoyed with his daughter, Jessica, for messing up his usual plans. Apart from the 1 in 4 Saturdays when he had to work, Stanley loved these afternoons. They were like his day out of prison, when he'd escape Joyce's moaning and spend the whole day in the pub or the bookies with his pals. Today, he wasn't allowed to go anywhere. His daughter, Jessica, was bringing this new boyfriend of hers around for tea, and Joyce had insisted he stay indoors and play happy families. Like most dads, Stanley was quite protective of his only daughter. Jessica was only 17, and still lived at home with them. Petite and blonde, Jessica was a very pretty girl with a sunny nature. She'd had boyfriends in the past, but there'd been nothing serious, until this latest one. His son, Raymond, was forever bringing different girls home, but Stan wasn't worried about what he got up to. With Jess, it was different. He knew what it was like to be a hormonal young man, and he would take anyone taking advantage of his little girl. Stan checked his appearance in the mirror. From what Joyce had said, this new boyfriend sounded like a right flash Harry. Call it father's intuition. Stanley just knew he wasn't going to like him very much. Joyce stared out of the window as she plumped up the cushions. They should be here any minute, and she couldn't wait to meet this Eddie. For the first time in her young life, Jessica had fallen hook, line and sinker, and Joyce was ever so pleased for her. Joyce's own life had always lacked excitement and romance, and she wanted her daughter to have everything she hadn't. Sometimes she wondered why she'd even married Stan, and then she remembered her mother's harsh words. "You're 22 now, Joycey. Look at all your mates, every one of them married. Even that fat Doreen from across the road has found herself a husband. Young Stanley's from ever such good stock. I know all of his family, even his aunts and uncles. You don't want to be left on the shelf, do you now?" "But I don't think..."